Welcome to the House Flipping 101 Masterclass, Lesson 1, where we're going to be talking about everything house flipping. So you're gonna get a understanding of what house flipping is, what it's not, what are the benefits, what are the downsides, what are the risks, and how do you control certain aspects of house flipping. Within that, an alternative to house flipping is considered wholesaling and creative finance. So, in this lesson one, we're going to break down exactly what all of these elements are that goes into a house flip. So, let's get started. All right. So, unlocking profits, a guide to house flipping. House flipping offers a unique opportunity to generate substantial profits in real estate. This guide will cover the essentials from traditional methods to alternative strategies. Learn how to navigate the market, minimize risk, and maximize return through effective planning and execution. All right, so what is house flipping? Let's get into it. Right. House flipping basics. House flipping involves the purchase of property, improving it through renovation, and selling it for profit. Success depends on the understanding of the market conditions, property values, renovation costs, and sales strategy. A well executed flip can yield significant returns. So let's break this down on exactly the elements that go into a house flip. And when we're talking about house flipping, we're talking about a traditional fix. I purchased a property, I put a deposit down, I get hard money or I raise money or whatever means that I use to secure the property. I take title of the property. Now I am going to upgrade the property to current market conditions. All right. So, market analysis, understanding local real estate trends. This is going to be very important for you to understand and for you to be successful as a real estate investor. You have to understand your market. Is it decreasing? Is it increasing? What are the conditions that affect the market? Is it a high inflationary market? Is it a stale market? Are the days on market climbing or are they selling the first week that they hit the market? This is going to be very important to understand because it's going to affect your decision making. All right, property valuation. Assess potential resale value accurately. So when you are flipping a house, all right. So one of the strategies that we would get jammed up on is we would see that high comp in that particular neighborhood, and we'll say, "Hey, we could get that. We could get that comp." Right. But the reality is, for you to get that particular comp, the house needs to be finished at a very high level. And for us, that's how we prefer to flip a property is we put the money into it and we want to get the highest and best use from highest and best value from that particular house flip. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. And if you don't know how the features that the buyers are looking for, you won't get that highest and best value. So I would say always price your property slightly below that highest and best comp to give you the best chance to sell that particular property in a expedited timeline. So renovation budgets, plan for all possible expenses. One of the things that I'll get into a little bit later is I remember as a new house flipper, one of the issues that I would run up often is I would come up with an arbitrary number. It's like, hey, we should be able to get it done for 50. And then we try to do everything in our power to get it done for that particular number. But the house is going to tell you exactly how much renovation it actually needs. And what we're going to be doing is setting up a cost sheet so we know in advance exactly what it's going to cost, and we're not trying to fit it into a mythical number. We're going to know exactly and have line by line allocation on exactly what this renovation is going to cost. All right, sales strategies, maximize appeal for potential buyers. That was something that I touched on a little bit earlier on making sure that we are selling the property, most of the times the property that you're selling it to a family, and you're also appealing to the women. So you have to understand that's your bread and butter. That's your market, all right? Families, and also geared towards the women. So the aesthetics need to appeal to her because her emotions are going to be a little bit higher, and obviously they are going to make the decision together. But typically in real estate, the women kind of make the buying decisions, and then the male may support. All right, so that's a word of wisdom, and that's something that will continue to be throughout. So let's get started. So I touched on alternative um options to flipping, and one of them is wholesaling. All right, so wholesaling is a quick turn, minimal risk. A lot of times when you're wholesaling, typically what you have up to risk is a earnest money deposit. A lot of times this is a minimal amount, whether it's 100, 500, 1,000, or up to $5,000 that you put down to secure that particular contract. Right. Wholesaling is a strategy where you secure the property under contract, then sell the contract to another buyer. No renovations are made. This offers quick returns with a minimal risk and capital investment. So, like I said, your earnest money is typically what you have to lose, right? And a couple ways that uh, you could lose that particular amount is if you do not execute on the contract in a timely manner. You're not able to get that additional buyer to purchase that contract from you. Those are the ways that you will be compromised in losing the deposit. But typically, what happens is that deposit is the maximum amount of loss if you structure it correctly. So, like I said, low capital, no funds needed for purchases or renovation. You're flipping the paper on this, and you're not actually taking title of the property. Quick turnaround transactions can close within weeks. You're getting this in buyer to either replace you and you assign it, or flip the paper for that transaction fee. Market knowledge. Identify the undervalued properties is key. So what makes wholesaling work is you are the one that is creating the initial action to get this person under contract. So before they even hit the market, you're doing marketing practices so you can get in front of these homeowners, so you can present an offer to them, and then now that's where you create your value. That's why wholesalers are so important. Now let's get into subject to deals. Leveraging existing mortgages. All right, the subject to deals involves acquiring a property while keeping the existing mortgage in place. You take your payments without formally assuming the loan. This can lower upfront costs. All right, subject to is very important during this current time, right? People have interest rates that are favorable, anywhere from 3 to 4%. Those are considered great interest rates because the current market conditions are showing that 7% is the new mortgage. And it doesn't make sense for you to secure a new mortgage at 7.5% to pay for that existing property. So we use subject to or creative finance to be able to secure the property with the existing mortgage to take title, to take over that particular mortgage because it's a great rate. All right, so lower costs, avoid large down payments and loan qualification. So you're not going through the banking process, you're not using your own credit to secure this particular property from the homeowner. Cash flow, rent or flip while maintaining existing terms. So the whole goal with subject to is you're looking to get a renter inside of the property, so they continue to pay the mortgage, right, which pays the existing mortgage, and then you will cash flow from that existing mortgage. So I'm going to use an example. Right, so let's say the existing mortgage from the initial homeowner is $2,000 a month. Now you get a renter for that particular property to pay you $2,600 a month. Now, that 2000 satisfies the existing mortgage, and then now you are cash flowing $600 a month to control that particular deal. So, legal steps: manage due on sale clauses carefully. One of the ways that we manage the due on sale clause, and we'll do a deeper dive into what subject to is with a land trust. So when we take the title in a land trust, it doesn't show that we are that the transaction is moving names from the homeowner, and that's something that we'll dive a little bit deeper into when we get into subject two. High profit potential. All right. When done correctly, house flipping can generate significant profits in a short time frame. Successful flips require careful planning and execution. Like we said, a couple things that we touched on. All right, market research. Identify the profitable areas. We typically want to be investing in a high desired area, but we want to buy the ugliest house in that particular area. There's several reasons why. Right, the schools might be desirable, the area might be desirable, and for and also it's going to be very stable in that particular neighborhood for whatever reason. I mean, there's obvious reasons that is stable. The incomes tend to be stable. The residents in that particular tend to be a little bit more stable, so it's a safer investment. Strategic renovations increase property value. So with renovations, we need to be very strategic on how we do these renovations. Not every renovation is going to be the same, but the renovations need to be strategic in a way that we bring up the value, and we also increase the appeal so we get the sales price that we're looking for. Things that are very helpful: always, always, always completely new paint, so the homeowner never has to reimagine the particular space. Kitchens and bathrooms, that's where you increase the value of the property, and that's where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. But there's also additional things that you need to look out for and be aware of, and we'll dive deeper into that as we get into some of the renovation costs. Effective marketing: attract qualified buyers. All right, so how are you going to market this particular property? So most of the time we are able to do our marketing through the realtor that's going to be representing the property. But sometimes what we might want to do is have host an open house so we can get our own feedback on exactly what people are saying and thinking about this particular renovation. A lot of times your neighbors are going to be one of the first persons that sees the home. They know someone that may want to move into the neighborhood. They also neighbors talk, so neighbors will spread the word on if this renovation was a great renovation and what they're seeing. So we want to start there and do our own marketing, and then obviously realtors have a bunch of syndication on different websites and stuff like that, so that's how they market your particular property. Hands-on investment. All right. So house flipping is a very hands-on process. All right. Unlike passive investments, flipping allows you to be directly involved in increasing the property's value. This gives you control over the renovation process, um, direct oversight, manage every aspect of the project. Quality assurance ensures high standards of workmanship. So, house flipping is a very active process. And what's going to determine your success is going to be a bunch of different things: market conditions, your general contractor or the team that you have that is managing the project, managing your costs, and also getting it done very quickly. All of those things are going to be important. And the faster you're able to execute on all of those things and hire the right team, the better it is for you to turn a profit. Skill development. So there's a number of skills that you're going to need to increase to be successful in any house flipping transaction. Flipping provides experience in real estate evaluation, construction, project management, and marketing. You will need to gain knowledge and confidence. Real estate evaluation: learn to assess property value. So you're going to need to master the skills of being able to assess the property's value post construction. That's going to be very important. Construction, understanding renovation techniques. So, one of the things that I did as a brand new house flipper was YouTube. All right. If I was hiring somebody, I didn't know exactly what was going on, I would open up my YouTube and ask a specific question about something like that. So at least I knew exactly what it needed to look like. And I didn't just go by the word of the contractor or the person that's going to be working on the house. That's going to be very important for you to know and understand. There's a lot of lessons that you could avoid by knowing and understanding construction steps and construction techniques. And the good thing is, because my background is in construction, I will go into very in depth on what the construction process should look like. So, if and when you're ready to hire a team, a construction team to manage your flip, you'll know and understand exactly how it needs to look like to move forward. So, project management, coordinate tasks and timeline. So, the more that you have checklists for all aspects of your renovation, the better it's going to be for you. And the more you're going to know and understand where the holes are in your process and moving the project forward. So, marketing, attract potential buyers. All right. So, one of the things that once you do marketing attached to this particular flip, there's buyers of the actual properties, which could be very good for you in keeping a buyer's list. There's also potential investors that you could be marketing this particular property to if you're looking to grow in this particular area. All right. And overall portfolio, right? You're able to showcase your portfolio and the things that you're able to do in a house flip. All of these things are going to be very important if you want to last a long time in the house flipping business. Market adaptability. With the right strategies, investors can take advantage of emerging markets, distressed properties. Being adaptable is important in real estate. All right. So let's just a couple different categories of properties and we'll break down each one. All right. Emerging markets, identify growth areas. So areas that are going to be potentially growing, whether it's companies relocating in the particular area, if there's a industry shift like with solar or agriculture or something like that, or chips, batteries, etc. Those are emerging markets for a specific reason, right? So government entities are pumping particular dollars in for infrastructure. You're going to need to know those type of market shifts so you could know and understand how migration and emerging markets are going to work for you. All right. So also distressed properties, anything that's bank owned or short sale or properties that are under duress are going to be considered distressed properties. Finding undervalued properties is going to be a gold mine for you, and this is where you're going to make your money as a house flipper. So, strategic investment, maximize returns. So, you're going to need to know and understand, how do you maximize your returns on a house flip, right? How do you strategically plan your projects so you're using the same systems over and over, you're using the same materials over and over. So, if there is any overlap between projects and between properties, you continue to have some of the same products on hand. So, you could do this process over and over. So that's a strategic investment. Market fluctuations. Real estate markets can shift, affecting resale value and profitability. Stay informed and be prepared to adjust your strategy. Market awareness is crucial. So you're going to need to know and understand the market conditions that go into your particular property. All right, stay informed, monitor market trends. You need to have alerts on your phone and always be looking at the real estate market and knows how many days on market, how many properties are on market. So you could tell, how is this market moving and adjusting. Adjust strategies. Have multiple exit strategies when you're looking at your particular property. Um, Mitigate risk, protect investment. This is goes into the same category of knowing and understanding, having multiple exit strategies for each particular deal that you do. Underestimated costs. And I said this to you. This was a issue that I had very early on in my flip process. I would give a number and then try to stuff that number into the renovation. But the property is going to tell you exactly what it's going to cost. So we do that on the front side. So we have a clear picture with line items attached to everything. What this project is going to actually cost. It does not benefit you to go over budget. It benefits you to be as accurate as possible on the front side. So it's going to be important that you have these things line itemed. All right. Unexpected repairs, labor shortages, a permit issue can increase expenses. Plan for contingencies and maintain a buffer in your budget. Contingency contingency funds. Always having a contingency funds for things that run over, and especially with pre-existing conditions, there's always something that pops up that you may have not been aware of, but as soon as you touch the wall or you open up a wall, it's something that you have to address. You have to know and understand and expect this on each property, that there's going to be some sort of item that warrant you using a contingency fund. Detailed estimates, get accurate cost projections. We're going to do that on the front side. And that's something that I'm going to stress because I know it has bitten me before, and I will make sure that you're prepared in doing so. Extended holding times. All right. So this is a way that you could lose significant amount of profits with holding the property too long and for some reason not going with the first contract, not negotiating it right away. And then now you're holding on to the property for months at a time, right? Each month that you hold the property, those are considered holding costs, and those holding costs end up hurting your bottom line. All right. So plan efficiently, create a realistic timeline. All right. Always plan for 4 to 6 months. All right. So you're safe on your deliverable. All right. Manage delays, address issues quickly. You want to move through the project as quick as possible and minimize cost control holding expenses. All right. So getting out of the property in the time frame that you hope is going to be your best bet. Financing challenges. Acquiring and managing funding for multiple flips can strain cash flow. Manage your finances carefully. Cash flow management, monitor income and expenses. You need to have a ledger of all of the expenses attached to it. That's called job costing on that particular property. So you can see everything that comes in, everything that's spent, everything that goes out on that particular property. Secure funding, explore financing options, diversify investments, reduce financial risk. Legal and compliance issue. All right. Understanding your zoning, permitting, inspections can impact the project's timeline and profitability. Always comply with local regulations and obtain the necessary permits. So this particular area is very tricky. And as a house flipper, you make your money based on speed. And the speed in and out of the project is going to be important. We're going to go over strategic permits that you should pull and you should not pull when you're executing on a house flip. Key takeaways. House flipping can be highly profitable, but requires a careful planning and execution. Understand market conditions and renovation costs. Use alternative strategies to reduce risk and implement effective risk management strategies. Plan carefully. Thorough preparation is essential. Manage risk, mitigate potential pitfalls, understanding costs. Accurate estimates are crucial. And that's going to be the lesson one. And as long as you're understanding exactly what a house flip is and what a house flip isn't, you'll be very successful.